Hey guys. So, I mean, it looks like I'm just giving this Max Velocity guy some free press, right? He's the only live uh, telegraph of this thing. I just needed a break from what I was doing. I live on the other side of the United States, but this is interesting because it's like one of the most powerful hurricanes that have gone across the state of Florida. The uh, I just wanted to get on here and talk about how a lot of times, what sometimes it seems like tragedies, when we lose a lot of things like houses, cars, material stuff. That's usually an opportunity to make us realize what's really important, right? We get too worried about the material things, but we can rebuild anything. The really things that only matters is our connection and our health. We want to make sure that our health's good and our ability to stay cognizant. Our mental health has so much to do with our physical health. But I just want to get on here and talk about that. I'm in the middle of building a contract for uh, people working together, and a lot of times operating agreements, when people first start working together, they're worried about what they can get from it instead of what they can provide for it. And you're never guaranteed to get anything from it. I worked with somebody who was working at an older age, who was a manager at Enron when Enron died, and lost over, wow, semi overturned, and lost over $1 million in his retirement. He had nothing. I mean, he was multi-millionaire one day. The next day, he had nothing. Literally, boom. And so, the message here is that having money does not necessarily mean having security, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. The only thing we can do is, you know, make sure that we're making the right investments, emotional investments in our lives, and making sure that we've established a good community that can support one another if something does happen. That's really the only support we have, right? Is our ability to support one another, and to not, hold people in debt. But looks like the storm surge is coming in. The I've witnessed that happen in my own life, where people realized what was more important, and it changed people. It changes people for the better, right? So, I mean, this is a simple message. I haven't made a couple of videos in a couple of days. Lots been going through my noggin, and the group collective is starting to realize a lot of this stuff, and so our spiritual skills are going up. Right, our ability to sense where people are at, if they're putting too much into the material world and not enough into, how we share each other on a heart level. Those things really don't matter, right? Heaven and earth shall pass away, but I am that I am. That never goes away. So, even if we're scared of our mortality, the reality is that we're all immortal. This journey, this little sliver of life, I know there's a lot of belief systems that say, hey, you only got one chance at life, you better live it. But that's not my experience. It's like, well, how would you know? It's like, well, you tried to kill yourself enough times, and eventually the veil gets thin enough where it's pretty questionable. Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Can we die? I mean, there's so many mediums out there that are speaking to our ancestors through us, and how everything is connected on a multi-dimensional level. You can't Energy can't be created or destroyed. I mean, that's where I stand. I don't think I can possibly die. I mean, you could, whatever. I'm not worried about it. And so, actually, I've met a lot of people who have witnessed really sad things in their lives, at early age, especially children that have died. I had a surrogate son that died, who I hadn't talked to in 10 years, and I poured a lot of energy into him, and I really loved him a lot. And for a long time, I felt guilty about not being there enough for him, but in order to really move on, you got to let that stuff go, because we're all at different places at different times. And if we ever hold each other accountable for anything, then we're not. It means that we're usually holding ourselves accountable, and so we're not loving ourselves the way we need to. We're all innocent, whether we realize it or not. Even the people that you think are guilty are innocent, because they still don't understand what they're doing to themselves. They're living in some kind of darkness. So. Yeah, pretty interesting storm. So, love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And if you're in the Florida area, I hope you stay safe and do the things for yourself and offer help to the community where it's needed. And I'm sure help will be offered to you as well. So, love you guys. Have a great one.